Have you ever just been so overwhelmed that everything you do is hard? From taking a shower to wanting to wake up to feeding yourself, everything just feels like you are pushing a boulder up a hill and nothing's working. Well, today I want to share with you how I'm managing this right now because this is where I'm at. And we like reality here on the Feed Your Business with Love show, and how I've thought about pivoting to another show, but in reality, Feed Your Business with Love is where my heart is. So, are you ready to feed yourself and your business with some love and beat that overwhelming feeling that you have of pushing the boulder up the hill? Well, let's go. Welcome to the Feed Your Business with Love podcast with your host, Jen Dragonette. You are about to experience a tsunami of self-love in your life and business because you have too much magic inside to just be a ripple. It's time to let go of society's standards and own who you really are. Your unique story is what makes you magical. Own it. If you want to build that business that you dream of that provides you with the fun and freedom you desire, it must start from within. Self-love is the key to success. It's time to unleash the magic inside by being your true self and watch your life and business unfold into something magical. All right, let's go. So I wanted to come on and share with you when I am in the muck, because I think so often we see the, highlight reel of everyone's life and we don't get that behind the scenes. Or maybe we see the other side where people are only sharing the down, not the up. And this has really been happening to me since releasing my book last week. Yes, we reached Amazon bestsellers. Thank you all for, supporting me and loving on me. And then I've gone into some serious self-doubt because things have been pointed out to me by people that I've respected that there are still a few errors in the book. And my first feeling was, oh crap, there's errors in the book. People are going to hate me. My community is going to leave me. Everyone's going to make fun of me. I'm going to be alone and not feel like enough. So what did I do? I took my book off Amazon. Don't worry, it's back on there. Errors and all. Because here's the thing is that I'm not perfect. I'm not, by no means am I perfect. I paid an editor to look through my book. They're obviously not perfect either because there's still little things in the book that aren't perfect. And if you're looking for perfection, definitely don't read my book. Yes, there will be another version and another round of edits coming out now that I actually have the paperback version in my hands. But you know what? The people that are nitpicking it apart, I realize that this overwhelm is coming because I'm letting everyone else into my head. They're picking it apart because parts of the stories are hitting them right where it hurts. Realizing that, oh my goodness, this is how I've acted. This is what's happened in my life. And of course, instead of feeling and hearing that core message of your story is someone's life raft, they're like, hey, Jen, you forgot to capitalize your horse's name in this one chapter, in this one page out of 42,000 plus words. And I let it get to me. And yesterday I had this overwhelming feeling of defeat. It woke up. It was quite a seesaw day. I got some news from one of my clients, and then that put me in a tailspin. And then I got another client that, brought me way up and invited me to do something that I never thought was possible. And I am just so grateful for it. And then we went back. We went back and forth. I let some other people in my life come in and pick apart things. And then I went and saw the Barbie movie. On a bad day, don't go see Barbie movie when you are in severe self-doubt. But here's what I learned from the Barbie movie is that although I didn't agree with a lot of the things in there, and there was a lot of political aspects of that movie, which I'm not getting into, the things that I took out of that story, because, here we're all about storytelling, is that we all get lost. Barbie was walking around in this world happy every day in plastic. And that is how I felt when I was sitting on that floor in Costa Rica, is that I felt like, not the Barbie body, but I felt like Barbie, like a plastic doll, just having someone else make the motions in my life. I didn't feel like I was deciding based on what was inside me, but just this outer shell. And that's a huge message in my book. And as I sat there and watched Barbie, again, there's a lot of things in the movie that just made me irritated. And, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on that. But as I sat there and watched her being confused about all the things and, like deciding where she's going and what she's doing and how she's doing it and how she'd rather feel than be plastic and perfect, it made me realize that's the key to the overwhelm, is we have to stop avoiding these feelings. We have to stop avoiding and fitting in. Our communities will follow. And that's another thing. I apologize to everyone that I offended in my book because I wrote Find Your Tribe. I had no idea it was offensive. And I apologize for that. I call people my tribe because that's what I feel like, is like a community that builds around you and, lives in this planet together cohesively and supports one another. And I got called out for that. And that put me in another tailspin of overwhelm. So I'm saying all of this and I'm sharing these stories because I don't want you to lose sight of your path. I don't want you to lose sight of yourself. And I know we all have. And we all go back into this despair. I mean, I became an Amazon bestseller and then I get kicked back down to feeling like nothing and feeling like a shell. I get some courage and I put something out and then all of a sudden it doesn't sell, or, crickets. And we all go back into that pattern of like, we're not enough. Our gifts aren't enough. And it's like, no, that's not the case. It wasn't either the right time. It could have been an issue with messaging, or it could have been an internal factor where you didn't truly believe in what you were putting out. So when you're starting to feel this overwhelm, know that life won't end if you take a break. This podcast I'm recording on Friday. It was supposed to go out on Wednesday, and I'm going to backdate it, and that's okay. Should I be, ahead of the game and pre-scheduled? Yeah, that's what I teach my clients. But, life happens. I haven't been feeling good. There's a lot of big decisions I'm making right now. What parts of my life to keep, what parts of my life to burn down. Where am I going? What am I doing? What am I no longer available for? And it's really weighing on me. And I haven't been sleeping. So having this go out late is fine. Having to push back some of the guests on my other show because I was like, okay, this week I'm just going to do a solo because I don't have the energy to edit a guest episode because it takes a lot more work. Because I put a lot more effort into creating things for them to share. And the sad thing is the majority of them won't share. It's sad and it sucks, but it is what it is. That's why, when you decide to have an interview show, you really need a strategy behind things. You really need to strategically look at your business and say what's working, what's not. So as I'm saying that, I'm looking at this little list I have on my desktop, and it says, all the different tasks that I'm doing, and just looking at that makes me overwhelmed. I'm like, holy crap, Jen, you want to try to have 2 podcasts. You want to email weekly. You want to be on Facebook. You want to be on Instagram. You want to be on TikTok, and you want to do guest appearances. That's a lot to take on when you already are running a business. And that's where your overwhelm is coming in. Ina said it best in her SASA challenge, which is a small audience social authority challenge, is that when you're looking around, you're looking at a lot of coaches that have already made it, that are trying to teach you. Those people are teaching you how to grow when you already have an audience. When you have a small audience, seriously guys, go check out Ina. She's like be all end all for social authority for small audiences. But when she said to me that like we're doing the wrong strategies, we're looking at hashtags, we're looking at all these other things, being on all these platforms. When we are a small business, what do you truly need? You need to talk to people. So how can you talk to people? That should be your strategy. You should be focused on the people that are already in your space, not growing your community, growing your following, but actually nurturing the people in your community. She says, I can guarantee you your next 3 clients are in your current community. And I was like, mic drop. Oh my goodness. Here's where the overwhelm is. It's like I have this list of all these different places I need to show up. But what I need to do is show up where I can actually talk to people. And that's where that overwhelm comes in, is because we're looking at the wrong strategies for our own size. We're looking at the wrong strategies for our life. Maybe you're fighting a marriage that's just, you've beaten it and you've beaten it and you've beaten it and you've beaten it. I don't like saying beat the dead horse, but everybody knows that saying. And you're just continually beating this dead relationship, trying to make it work. And all that's doing is expending the limited amount of energy you have. You know, Project Me with Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany. You know, the 0 fucks given. You only have so many fucks to give in one day. And if you give them all away to things that aren't serving you, to people that aren't serving you, you don't have time to show up to do the things that work. So building your business takes relationship and connection. And I've forgotten that. It's part of the reason why I'm so overwhelmed all the time, is because I've forgotten that. When in reality, what I should be doing is having more interviews. Yes, they take longer to edit. Yes, they take more work. But you know what that does? It opens up an hour of my time to talk to someone new. Best for networking and growth and just connecting as a human. We don't see and we don't stop and think about everybody as an individual human when we get really stuck in this grow and make money, grow our following, make more money, do this. We forget that they're humans on the other side. That's why I love podcasting. That's why I do so many dang interviews. And the thing about it is I forgot that for a long time. And I just got burdened with doing podcast interviews. And part of it is that, you know, I'm editing 27 plus shows a week. I'm hiring somebody, guys. Can we just do a shout out to get rid of some overwhelm? When you start to hire, we're getting somebody new into the Dragonette Productions team. Hallelujah. But on side note, when you can't hire out, there's ways to start fixing things. There's tons of AI right now. Like the amount of AI that's out there that can actually support. Let me tell you, I have a VA that's an AI and it's magical, but I'm getting a real human to help me with the AI. So, you know, think about what you're doing. Think about where your energy is being expended, and is it being expended to the right things or not? Like, let's circle back to like my day yesterday. I went down a shame spiral because I screwed something up. Totally screwed it up. I was told not to screw it up. I was specifically told like 15 times to fix this thing. And I thought I had fixed it, and it came out and it wasn't fixed. And I, you know, got those choice words of, hey, I'm disappointed in you. And let me tell you that just that word disappointed, told to me multiple times in one day, made me just be like, why am I here? Why am I on this planet? Like, what is the purpose? Like, I'm obviously not good enough. But the cool thing is I've done the work to know that that's not true. So I let myself be in that moment. I processed it and I asked myself, is this true? It's not true. I'm human. I made a mistake. There's a lot of things in my personal life going on. It just reminded me that I have to take the extra time when I'm not in my full energy. So when you're not in your full energy, something that might take you 2 hours is going to take you 3 hours, and you have to be okay with that. And I'm okay with it. And I've set aside more time so that I can make sure that I'm showing up better for my clients and better for myself and better for my life. I'm starting to add in movement, because here's the thing. We aren't meant to be sitting behind desks for 12 hours a day. We didn't leave our 8-hour-a-day jobs to trade in them for 7-day-a-week, 12-hour days. and where you're still dreaming about your business in your sleep. And I know this is getting rambly, and I apologize, but I don't apologize, because you need to hear something in this. This overwhelm that you're feeling is because you're allowing it to happen / you haven't taken the time to analyze why it's happening. For me, I have got a lot going on. There's some personal life stuff that I'm about to blow up, and it's going to make a big major changes in my life. There's some business things that I'm starting to. I released a book that was very vulnerable, and I'm getting feedback from people that means something to me that's not positive, because there's little errors in it and stuff like that. And it was a lot. It was too much in 1 week, and I needed to slow down when I was doing things for other people to keep my business running. And I didn't do it. So what I want you to do is start protecting yourself. If there's somebody in your life that is constantly digging at you, maybe not intentionally, maybe they don't even know they're digging at you. Find some way to stop allowing them in your life so much. Like if it's somebody that you're able to call and talk to, but like, because you need to vent something out, but then after the vent, they turn around and they dig into you and make you feel worse. You've got to start separating that and find somebody else to do that with. Therapists are great. If you can have a vent buddy, I have a vent buddy. Shout out. I love you. Thank you for letting me be a vent buddy. It's great because I'm able to support them through their events and hold space and hear them repeat things back to them if they ask for support or advice, and vice versa. And I think that is so important, to have somebody in your life that on the good days and the bad days, you can be like, I'm having the best freaking day ever. I'm having the worst freaking day ever. Because sometimes just being able to express with somebody holding your space is magical. It truly is. And I'm grateful that I have somebody like that in my life. I feel guilty sometimes because I'm like, I'm dumping all my crap on them. But I'm also here when they need to dump, and they need to be lifted up and cheered on and supported and held. So having somebody that you can go back and forth, where it feels like it can go back and forth and you feel safe to be able to express those things, is so important. So when you're getting overwhelmed and you're feeling like crap, just know that you're not alone. Know that you don't have to take this. There is something better for you on the other side, and you just have to believe that it's possible. And I finally am into a place where I believe that it's possible for me to have the life that I desire without having to be a burden to other people, and that I'm enough and worthy right now. And so are you. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a look at where all that energy of overwhelm is coming from and see what you can change and pivot to make things better. Now go out and make today amazing, because you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are worthy, and I hope to see you inside the Facebook community.